So how does the captaincy sit with you?
Well, I'm so proud, but I also feel very privileged to be able to lead a team as what I think is as good as probably the best team that Australia's ever put out. So I'm the proud guy that gets to lead that team out, and the last face you see when the anthem's getting sung. So for me, it's beaten any dream that I ever thought I'd have, and now I'm realising probably that I'm one of the luckiest athletes in Australian history.
You probably, for the next 6 weeks anyway, will have the highest profile, or perhaps equal with Tim and Harry in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, but I'm more worried about being a good leader on the field for the team. I'm not worried about the profile. I'm worried that my leadership qualities can have an influence on this team to be successful, not just as footballers but as people as well.
And what do you think you do bring to the role?
I'll bring a bit of composure, but also bring a high level of performance on the training ground in order to be prepared for when we go out for game day. So I do that because I need to do it for myself. I need to push myself in training every day, and I hope that guys follow suit, follow my example, but also try and find the balance of working hard and having a bit of fun, to making sure that the guys don't get too stressed out, and camp stays nice and fresh and nice and relaxed. And I think I'm lucky also that I have a lot of experience and a lot of other players with leadership qualities, and that makes my job very easy. And together we've got a nice balance, nice chemistry.
With such a highly professional outfit, is it really that important to have a captain that leads by example?
Of course. You need captains and leaders in every walk of life. My mum and dad, but mum was captain of our ship at home, and you always looked at her to give the final order, as it were. Prime Minister of Australia, he's a leader, he's a captain, captain of our country, the captain of our country, and the buck stops with him. He's the one that has to make the decision, right or wrong, for the good of his team, which in this case is our country, and I'm no different. I have to make decisions, sometimes tough ones, and maybe give someone a cuddle or someone a kick up the bum if that's what's needed, and then everybody turns to me for guidance, and if I'm doing it as captain, then everyone should follow, and that's something that I know I have to take a lot of responsibility, but also have to be careful that I realise I'm always in the limelight.
What are your memories from 4 years ago? What do you take away from Germany?
Oh, just a fantastic tournament, great achievement, a roller coaster of emotion, and just a harsh reality of exactly what football is. It can be going so well for 2 or 3 games or 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden it comes back to remind you just how harsh the game can be, and before you know it, your tournament's over, and what was going so well can all of a sudden be stopped in its tracks. And so you learn from those experiences, and you hope you can savour as many good memories as possible.
Now that we're gearing up for South Africa, are you reminded, do the memories come flooding back, particularly of the Grosso penalty?
Not so much the Italian game, but just the fact that the whole world is going to stop to watch your game soon, and that's a tingly feeling. But with that comes a small amount of pressure and expectation that you're there to win those games. So you're keeping one eye on how the other teams are progressing, and hoping that you're going into that tournament with confidence to try and beat those teams. And I suppose you let your mind wander a little bit just about the what ifs, and what if we could win this game and draw this game, or win this game, and where will it take us? But we won't look too far ahead, because we've got 3 big games, and no bigger than when we start against Germany on the 13th. Did
you take any satisfaction in Fabio Grosso being dropped from the Italian squad?
No, not really. If anything, you'd rather have those guys that have influenced the tournament last time in the team this time to get a bit of payback. But also the news of Ballack not being in the German squad, is a lot of people see it as a bonus. As a professional, we wish him well. We wish it wasn't good like that. You want to take on the best and beat the best, but his misfortune is another one's chance, and I'm sure the next guy that comes in to replace him will be equally pumped to do a job. So we've got our work cut out, but we'll concentrate on Australia and Australia only, and see if we can slash a few reputations down.
Now, you had such a stellar tournament in Germany, that penalty aside. How has the World Cup changed your life and perhaps you as a footballer?
Well, it just made me realise how much reward you can get for playing football. To go and take on the very best in the world in a tournament that stops the world, everybody watches, and it was a great honour. It was obviously the highlight of my career thus far, and I suppose after that people always relate to you as a player that played in the tournament, and such a good tournament for Australia, and it just makes you want to have that experience again and go again and see if you can better it.
Speaking of bettering it, what will define success for you in South Africa?
Well, we've already defined success by qualifying for a second World Cup in a row. So, we've got to remember we've got to walk before we run. There's been a good progression of football in this country for a number of years now. A lot of hard work went into that. And we are exactly where we need to be as a nation, always competing now in World Cups. And from that, we needed luck of the draw. We didn't quite get a good draw, but is there an easy draw in the World Cup? I don't think so with 32 teams. So we're going to have to take on 3 very good teams, and we're going to have to show them how good we are. And I'm sure we'll find a win and a draw in that group. I'm positive that'll take us into the next round. And from there, anything is possible. We saw that in the last tournament. We were 8 seconds away from taking the world champions into extra time. And give us that opportunity again, please.
The team had a dream start against Japan 4 years ago. This time round it's Germany, one of the toughest teams in the world. What are your thoughts on coming up against such a highly rated opponent first time?
Probably the most consistent tournament team in the history of world football. So it doesn't get any bigger than that as a challenge. But we're Australia. We're used to being the underdog. We're used to taking on the best, and regularly we're starting to see us surprise the rest of the world with some of our results. So why not play Germany in Durban in a 70,000 seater stadium, first game in the tournament, and be one of the first surprise results of the tournament? That's the way we're thinking.
What's your prediction for Durban?
Oh, hard game. That's my prediction. A full house, plenty of yellow in the crowd. I'm hearing staggering numbers of people who've bought tickets, and we're going to go out there as 11 more or 23 more, and we're going to do them proud.
Are you ever surprised by the number of people that turn up wearing green and gold? You've seen it in Germany. Now, again, there's talk of 40,000 people turning up to the other side of the world just to watch the Socceroos play. Does it ever surprise you?
No, nothing in Australian sport surprises me. We're so patriotic, especially when it comes to supporting our teams and our athletes, and when we're not playing and competing in tournaments, we do the same as footballers, as fans of Australian sport. So it's just great that so many have managed to get their hands on tickets and flights and get themselves over.
You've experienced that in Germany. What is it like when you're on the other side of the world and you've got a stadium full of green and gold?
It is so rewarding. It's so ego boosting. And it just makes you want to do better and better for your country and for yourself, because you know you've got so many people that are just dying to see you do well. And let's not forget that we're the lucky ones that get to do it. These guys wish they had the talent, wish they had the time, wish they had made different decisions in their lives, and we're the guys that are there, and they're all coming to follow us, and there's no better feeling.